Hey there everybody, this is Ed and welcome back to another edition of Bagel and Booze. Today is Cinco De Mayo and we got a backyard brew that's coming to us from just over the line in Queenstown, Maryland, which is here located on the eastern shore of Maryland, which is not too far from me. And this brew should line up pretty well with today's celebrations. You'll see when we get the beer cam up. And with this one, as usual, we'll give it the sniff taste test. Man, getting already tongue-tied on stuff, and we haven't even drank the beer yet. And ultimately, we'll do the chug test. And with this one, with the chug test, I'm going to be a little leery of it, scared of it. I don't know. You'll see once we get the beer cam up as to why. But before we do that, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button so you stay up to date with the latest beer reviews and whatnot. So let's get to it. Today's backyard brew is coming to us from Queenstown, Maryland, and what we've got is from Ten Eyck Brewing Company. It is their Jalapeño Brain Amber Ale. This is a 7% beer that is brewed with jalapeños, so you can kind of see why a little leery on doing the chug test. We've had some chili infused inspired beer before. Yeah, had a little bit of burn, so not sure if this is going to be hot or not, but like I said, just off of the label and the information that I'm a little worried on the chug that jalapeno burn is going to intensify for it. But with Ten Eyck Brewing, this is one of Queen Anne County first breweries, and Ten Eyck itself, the name kind of translates from Dutch into meaning under or near the oak, and its name and the brewery itself is named after Coenraad Ten Eyck, hopefully I pronounced his first name correctly, who emigrated from the Netherlands into the I want to say it was the New York region in the mid 1600s, and had several children, had 12 kids, and of their descendants, one of them moved into the Baltimore area, and their daughter is the founder of this Ten Eyck Brewing, hence kind of the paying tribute to the family name and what have you. So I guess enough of that. Let's get this poured out and get everything started to get the sniff taste, get it rated, and ultimately give it the chug test.
I drink and I know things.
So we got everything all poured down. You can see it's nice, good amber color that's on here. A little cloudiness to it. It's not as crisp and clean looking as kind of thought, but that's okay. We can handle that. Put the can back up, and our nice green mouth is being washed out by the green screen, but it's got a decent head that's set up off on it. Smell test. I am getting a little bit of that kind of jalapeno smell you get with pepper. It does have a jalapeno pepper, general pepper smell that comes to it. So be interesting to see how that translates into the taste. Again, like I said, good amber color on it, slightly cloudy to it, which, you know, not to distract to it, but just call that out for you. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of pepper smell, see if it translates into anything into flavor profile, and if we definitely get kind of that jalapeno, get any type of bite or anything. So there's only one way to find out. Let's give it the old sip and taste test. So, yeah, there definitely is a little bit kind of heat. Again, it does have that jalapeno taste. It's not really a real kind of burn to it, but there's definitely kind of a subtle heat to it that's coming through. It's kind of lingering in the back of the throat. It's not really overpowering, which I guess is kind of a good thing. Give it another swig here, see if we get anything different from the initial kind of hit. And yeah, there definitely is an overtone to the beer of that kind of pepper jalapeno. If that's something that if you're not don't like that flavor, you know, I could see this is definitely not going to be something that lines up to you, but there is kind of a heat that just kind of sits there well after the initial kind of drink and swallow that comes through. It's definitely interesting. It's kind of unlike anything I've had before, even with some of the other chili-inspired infused beers. Those that just kind of, if you recall, there was kind of just a burn that kind of came in straight off on that. But this one, this is definitely more subtle. It's not hitting you on the front side. It's definitely on the back side kind of things with it. And like I said, it is kind of unusual in connection with this. I guess just, you know, when else have you had jalapeno in your beer? Maybe it's some type of shooter or something like that, but just as a jalapeno flavor, it's definitely an uncommon one that you would get out there. Yeah, it's just, you know, it is a delayed reaction that comes out. You know, it's just it's very hard and unique to describe it because, you know, jalapeno, it is its own flavor in and of itself, and it's just not something kind of normal or natural in a beer. So it is a bit unusual with this one, and you know, this delayed heat that's coming in, it will be interesting to see how this translates into the chug test that will come out. So I guess with a rating on this one, you know, it's kind of tough to kind of really place it, you know, but we'll go ahead and we'll give this one out, you know, let's give one last swig to help solidify the rating. But with this one, you know, we'll give it a 3.5. You know, I'm liking it, but I think just with me, the flavor profile on it, it's just not there over the top. I don't want it to be over the top because, you know, you don't want to be taste like burning on your beer when you're drinking it.
How are they, Ralph? Good? They taste like burning.
And, you know, it's not anything that we'll dislike. You know, would it be something that I would sit there and just kind of continue the order? You know, maybe not. It'd be something definitely to try. If it's there to sample, sure. But I don't think it's something that I would actively kind of continue to drink. It definitely would be a very tough one to kind of drink because of that kind of heat that comes into it. Definitely I could see pairing this up with Mexican food. Definitely will be interesting to see how that kind of lines up. I got some taco night to go on, and so it'll be interesting to see. Got an extra one of these lying around and see how it lines up with the food and pairing. But I think it would go very well. Anything where you want kind of that heat, but definitely for any type of Mexican cuisine, definitely could see it lining up with that. And in that case, you know, maybe that would push the rating up, but standing on its own, we'll keep it at like a 3.5. You know, it's a high 3.5, almost 4, but definitely kind of a 3.5. That see in connection with that, you know, it's not overwhelming me on it. And again, I'm not hating it. It's just a very unique flavor profile that's coming through. It's, you know, again, it's got that jalapeno. It's got a slight burn to it, a delayed reaction to it. So that's, you know, we'll stick with that, and that's where we're going to keep it at. We'll keep it at a 3.5. You know, it's a very high 3.5, maybe like 3 3/4, you know, but we'll keep it at a 3.5. You know, it just, you know, I think it's just the peculiarity of it, if that's even a word, that's kind of keeping me from kind of pushing it higher. You know, it's definitely a unique beer. Okay, we got everything all topped off and we're ready to give it the old chug test. And like I've said, I've stated it numerous times, I'm a little reluctant to do this, just because from the taste testing that we had just not too long ago, there is that kind of subtle burn that's coming through. It's definitely a delayed reaction, and I have a feeling it's really going to intensify, just like what we get for many of the chug tests, where whatever that kind of predominant flavor is really kind of ramps up during the chugging. And with this one, it will be interesting to see if that burn or that pepper flavor hits during the chug, or if it's going to be something that once we're done, that it's really just going to kind of come out of nowhere and just really kind of kick my ass from here till next Tuesday. So there's only one way to find out. So with that, it's bottoms up time. Let's go. Oh, no, it will not chug. We got about halfway done, and it did not delay. Yeah, the jalapeno pepper flavor, definitely came through during the chugging. I'm feeling it. And my mouth definitely has got some heat coming through. You know, like I said, we only got about halfway through. I thought I might be able to kind of plow through in connection with this, but it didn't happen. Couldn't make it happen. There just was no way to do that, because that heat, just as I continued to drink, it really started, not on the initial kind of hit, but as we started to get through the pint, it started to kind of come through and really come to the forefront, just as I thought it would. And yeah, sorry for the stuttering, but it's kind of hitting, and it just, like, it dialed it up from 0 to 10 in a real short order, and it's subsiding a little bit now, but it definitely, you know, in that bit of, you know, right at the end of the chug attempt, it was sitting there and it kind of just smacked me in the mouth. You know, and kind of wrap up and kind of closing thoughts, you know, this is definitely a unique beer. I'm not dissuading anything from it. If you are not somebody who likes kind of, you know, hot and spicy, you don't like the pepper flavor, this definitely is not going to be one that attracts you. But this, to me, should have a place and kind of, you know, accenting out to Mexican cuisine. I think it would pair very well with it. And like I said, I've got another can of this, and I definitely can't wait to try it in with taco night that we've got going on. And it'll be very interesting to see how it kind of lines up and just kind of accents the flavors, complements flavors. It was interesting. You know, I saw it, you know, I wanted to try it. You know, it's got definitely a niche to me, you know, and that's where we kind of, you know, throw it at 3.5%. Sorry, 3.5 bagel rating, not 3.5%. It's a 7% beer, as I mentioned before. Man, I guess the heat's got me a little messed up on that, but all in all, it is a unique beer. I recommend it, you know, especially this time of year. It would be something that's good. If you have any type of hot and spicy cuisine that you would want to kind of add it to, some Tex-Mex, Mexican, you know, Southwestern, what have you, you know, I'd even be interested to see how this would pair up with kind of some hot and spicy Asian cuisine. So it definitely is something that, you know, kind of would go in and maybe accent out, you know, and I would even probably maybe for even some other type of cuisine that it would kind of fit in, because it kind of lends a different flavor profile than you would get out of your standard amber ale. You know, it doesn't have a generic kind of beer taste to it, but it definitely has a place that's out there. So I guess with that, let's finish this off. Man, holy crap. Whew. Even that half pint. Oh, man. Ooh. Like I said, chugging it, this thing is definitely not chug friendly. That is for sure. Damn it. But with that, this is done. I'm done. We're done. And I thank you again for tuning in for another edition of Bagel and Booze. I'm going to go probably chug some milk to settle down, and we'll be back soon with another review. Thanks all, and catch you later.